The crimson sunset painted the Sonoran Desert in shades of amber and gold as Noah Barrett adjusted his camera settings. The wildlife photographer had spent weeks tracking the elusive desert kit fox, but tonight his lens was pointed skyward. A rare celestial alignment was predicted, and the remote location offered perfect viewing conditions. Through his viewfinder, Noah noticed something unusual, a streak of iridescent light cutting across the darkening sky. It moved erratically, unlike any meteor he'd ever seen. The object disappeared behind a distant ridge, followed by a muffled impact that sent startled birds into flight. Noah's scientific curiosity overcame his caution. He packed his gear and hiked toward the impact site, using his GPS to mark the coordinates. The desert night was coming alive around him, the soft hooting of owls, the rustle of nocturnal creatures emerging from their burrows. As he crested the ridge, his flashlight beam caught something that made him stop short. A shallow impact crater marred the desert floor, but it was the figure lying beside it that held his attention. At first glance, it appeared human, but the similarities ended there. The being's skin shimmered with a pearlescent glow, changing colors like the surface of a soap bubble. What looked like crystalline patterns traced across their form, catching and refracting the moonlight. Noah approached carefully, his heart pounding. The alien was clearly injured, dark fluid leaked from several wounds, and parts of their crystalline surface appeared cracked and damaged. As he drew closer, their eyes opened, completely silver, like liquid mercury. "I mean no harm," Noah said softly, holding up his empty hands. "Let me help you." The alien tried to move but fell back with a musical sound of pain. Noah noticed their environment responding strangely. The desert plants seemed to lean toward the injured being, and the very air felt charged with energy. Making a quick decision, Noah spoke again, "My research cabin isn't far. I have medical supplies there. Will you let me help you?" The alien's silver eyes studied him intently before they gave a slight nod. Noah carefully gathered them in his arms, surprised by how light they felt, like holding spun glass. Their skin was cool to the touch and seemed to pulse with its own inner light. The trek back to his cabin was tense. Every shadow seemed to hold potential danger, and the alien's breathing grew more labored. Noah had converted an old ranger station into his base for wildlife photography, its isolation now a blessing. Inside, he gently laid his otherworldly guest on the small bed. Under the cabin's lights, he could see them more clearly. Their features were delicate but alien, high cheekbones that caught the light like prisms, hair that moved as if suspended in water, shifting between colors that had no names in human language. The alien reached out and touched Noah's forehead with 2 fingers. A surge of information flooded his mind, images, emotions, concepts. When it ended, he staggered slightly. "I am Kasara," the alien spoke, their voice like wind chimes. "I apologize for the neural transfer, but I needed to understand your language quickly." "I'm Noah," he replied, still processing the strange sensation. "What happened to you?" "I was pursued," Kasara said, wincing as they shifted position. "My kind, the Lamini, are being hunted for our abilities. We can communicate with the essence of living worlds, feel the pulse of their ecosystems. Some would use this gift to exploit planets for resources." Noah gathered his first aid supplies, though he wasn't sure how to treat their unusual injuries. "What can I do to help?" "Your world's natural energy is compatible with my healing abilities," Kasara explained. "I just need time and safety to recover." As Noah began carefully cleaning their wounds, he noticed the desert plants he kept in the cabin were responding to Kasara's presence, growing and blooming out of season. Outside, a coyote howled at the moon, and Kasara's skin briefly pulsed in response to the sound. "Rest now," Noah said, covering them with a light blanket. "You're safe here." Kasara's mercury eyes held his gaze. "Why do you help me, when I am so different from your kind?" Noah thought about his years documenting Earth's incredible diversity of life. Different doesn't mean wrong or dangerous. Besides, helping those in need, that's what makes us human. As Kasara drifted into healing sleep, their skin casting gentle waves of light across the cabin walls, Noah settled into his chair to keep watch. He had no idea what consequences might come from helping this extraordinary being, but he knew he couldn't have done anything else. The desert night stretched out around them, full of possibilities and dangers yet to come. Dawn painted the desert sky in watercolor hues as Noah carefully changed the bandages on Kasara's crystalline wounds. After 3 days of recovery, their iridescent skin had regained some of its luminescence, though the damaged areas still appeared clouded and dull. What amazed Noah most was how his small collection of desert plants had transformed. Cacti bloomed out of season, succulents grew in impossible patterns, all reaching toward Kasara like sunflowers tracking the sun. "Your earth plants," Kasara observed, their mercury eyes following Noah's movements, "they sing with such unique voices. So different from the crystal forests of my homeworld." Noah paused in his work, fascinated. "You can hear them? What do they say?" Kasara's hair shifted to a deep cobalt blue, which Noah had learned indicated thoughtfulness. "Not in words as you understand them. More like feelings, intentions, needs." Here, they reached for his hand, their touch sending that now familiar tingle of energy through his skin. "Let me show you." The world transformed. Suddenly Noah could feel the life force of every plant in the cabin, their quiet contentment in the morning light, their gentle striving toward Kasara's energy. Beyond the walls, he sensed the vast web of desert life, from the smallest insects to the ancient saguaros standing sentinel across the landscape. "That's incredible," he breathed as the sensation faded. "Is this how you see the world all the time?" "Yes," Kasara smiled, their skin rippling with patterns like sunlight through water. "My people believe all living things are connected through what you might call a cosmic dance. We don't seek to control this dance, only to understand its rhythms and move in harmony with them." Noah sat back, studying their ethereal features. "Is that why you're being hunted? Because others want to control it?" Kasara's expression darkened, their skin taking on deeper, storm cloud hues. "The harvesters see worlds only as resources to be drained. They believe our abilities could help them strip planets more efficiently." They looked away, their voice dropping to a whisper. "Many of my kind have already fallen to their control." Without thinking, Noah reached out and took their hand. "That won't happen to you. I won't let it." Kasara's skin flushed with warm rose gold tones at his touch. "You are kind, Noah Barrett, but you don't know the forces you'd be facing. The harvesters have technology far beyond your world's current capabilities." "Maybe," Noah agreed, "but they don't know this terrain like I do. I've spent years studying every hidden canyon and cave system in this desert. Plus," he grinned, "we humans can be surprisingly resourceful when protecting those we care about." Their eyes met, and something electric passed between them. Kasara's hair shifted to a color Noah had never seen before, a shimmering shade between pearl and starlight. "You care about me?" Noah felt his face warm. Yes. I know we've only known each other a few days, but there's something about you that just feels." He struggled to find the right words. "Like a harmony you didn't know you were missing until you heard it," Kasara finished softly. They raised their free hand to his face, their touch cool and tingling against his skin. "I feel it too. It's rare, even among my own kind, to find such resonance with another being." The moment was broken by a distant humming sound. Kasara stiffened, their skin paling to an almost translucent state. "No," they whispered. "They found me sooner than I expected." Noah rushed to the window, scanning the sky. A dark shape moved against the clouds, too angular to be natural. "What do we do?" Kasara tried to stand but stumbled, still weak from their injuries. Noah caught them, pulling them close. "You're not fully healed yet. You can't run in this condition. If I stay, they'll find me. And you." Their voice cracked with emotion, their skin swirling with patterns of distress. I cannot bear the thought of you being harmed because of me. Noah's mind raced. The cave system, he said suddenly. There's an extensive network running through these mountains. The mineral deposits interfere with most scanning technology, that's why I have such trouble getting cell service out here. Would that hide you from their sensors? Kasara's eyes widened. Yes, that might work. But Noah, if you help me hide, you'll be marked as an accomplice. The harvesters don't show mercy to those who interfere with their hunts. Noah met their gaze steadily. Then I guess we're in this together. Besides, he managed a smile, I've been wanting to photograph the cave system for months. Now I have the perfect excuse. The humming grew louder. Moving quickly, Noah gathered essential supplies, water, food, medical supplies, and his camera equipment as cover. As he helped Kasara toward the hidden trail that led to the caves, they paused. Noah, they said, their voice carrying harmonics that made his heart skip, why would you risk so much for me? He looked at the extraordinary being before him, their beauty unlike anything Earth had ever known, their spirit so fierce despite their gentle nature. The answer came easily, because some things are worth the risk. Their skin brightened with joy even as the sound of the harvester ship grew closer. Together, they slipped into the desert shadows, two hearts beating in a harmony that transcended the vast distances between their worlds. Deep within the cave system, Kasara's natural luminescence created dancing shadows on the mineral-streaked walls. They had been hiding for 2 days, moving deeper into the network of tunnels whenever the distant hum of harvester ships echoed from above. Noah's knowledge of the caves had proven invaluable, he guided them through the labyrinthine passages with confidence born from years of exploration. Your injuries are healing faster here, Noah observed as he checked their wounds. The crystalline patterns across Kasara's skin had begun to repair themselves, forming intricate new geometries that caught and amplified their inner light. Yes, Kasara touched the cave wall gently, sending ripples of soft light through the crystalline deposits. These caves, they resonate with frequencies similar to my homeworld. The minerals here sing songs I haven't heard since I fled. Noah sat beside them, their shoulders touching. He'd noticed how Kasara seemed to draw strength from physical contact, their skin brightening at every touch. Tell me about your world. Kasara's hair shifted through shades of twilight as they spoke. Luminara is a planet of crystal forests and bioluminescent oceans. Our cities are grown, not built, living structures that pulse with the planet's own rhythms. Before the harvesters came, we lived in perfect harmony with our world's natural energy. Their voice carried such longing that Noah found himself reaching for their hand. Kasara interlaced their fingers with his, their touch sending waves of shared sensation between them. The most beautiful sight, they continued, was the aurora dance during our triple moon's alignment. The entire planet would light up in waves of color as all living things joined in a synchronized rhythm. It was. They paused, searching for words, imagine your northern lights, but alive and singing. Through their connected hands, Noah caught glimpses of the memory, spectacular waves of light dancing across alien skies, crystal spires rising like frozen music, and the overwhelming sense of unity with every living thing on the planet. It's beautiful, he whispered. How could anyone want to destroy something like that? Kasara's skin darkened with sorrow. The harvesters see beauty only in terms of profit. They discovered that our connection to planetary energies could be corrupted. Forced. They began capturing our people, using terrible technologies to twist our natural abilities into tools for rapid resource extraction. Noah felt anger rise in his chest. They enslave your people to help them strip mine planets. Those who survive the process, yes. Kasara's free hand traced patterns in the air, leaving trails of light that formed images, massive ships darkening alien skies, crystal forests shattering, oceans dying. Many of us fled, seeking refuge on worlds far from known space lanes. I was part of a resistance group, helping others escape, until they fell silent, their skin pulsing with darker colors. Noah squeezed their hand gently. Until what? Until I discovered something that made me a priority target. Kisara turned to face him, their mercury eyes intense. Noah, I haven't been entirely honest about why they're hunting me specifically. Before they could continue, a deep thrumming vibrated through the cave system. Loose pebbles skittered across the floor as dust rained from above. Kisara's skin paled with fear. They're using deep scan probes, they whispered. The mineral interference won't hide us for much longer. Noah pulled them closer protectively. There has to be a way to stop them. Tell me what you discovered, maybe we can use it against them. Kisara's skin flickered with uncertainty before they seemed to come to a decision. Taking Noah's face in both hands, they pressed their forehead to his. The neural connection bloomed between them, but this time it was different, deeper, more intimate. Images and knowledge flooded Noah's mind, a hidden sanctuary world, coordinates encoded in crystalline patterns, and most importantly, the key to awakening planetary defense systems left behind by an ancient race, systems that could protect worlds from the very type of exploitation the harvesters practiced. When the connection ended, Noah gasped at the implications. That's why they want you so badly. You found a way to stop them permanently. Yes, Kisara's voice trembled. But the knowledge is encoded in my very being, in the crystalline patterns of my DNA. If they capture me, they won't just gain the coordinates. They'll learn how to disable the defense systems before we can activate them. Another tremor shook the caves, closer this time. Noah held Kisara tighter, his mind racing. Then we won't let them capture you. There has to be a way to contact your resistance, let them know what you found. Kisara's skin suddenly brightened with an idea. There might be, but it would be dangerous. And, they hesitated, their hair shifting to that pearl starlight color Noah had come to recognize as emotional vulnerability. It would require a deep bond between us. Deeper than any I've shared with a non-lumini before. Noah cupped their luminescent face in his hands, his heart racing with more than just adrenaline. I trust you, Kisara. Whatever you need, I'm with you. Their eyes met in the crystal-reflected light, and something unspoken passed between them. As the sounds of their pursuers grew closer, Kisara began to explain their plan, their joined hands painting patterns of light in the darkness that would change both their worlds forever. The deepest chamber of the cave system pulsed with otherworldly light as Kisara prepared for the bonding ritual. They had explained that by joining their energies completely, they could amplify their natural abilities enough to send a quantum signal through space, one that would reach their resistance allies without the harvesters detecting it. The process will change us both, Kisara warned, their skin rippling with nervous energy. No human has ever participated in such a deep joining with one of my kind. I cannot predict how it will affect you. Noah watched in fascination as they drew intricate patterns of light on the cave floor, their movements graceful and precise. The crystal formations in the walls seemed to respond, humming with subtle harmonics that he could feel in his bones. I understand the risks, he said softly. But we're running out of options, and I. He paused, gathering his courage. I want this connection with you, Kisara. I've never felt anything like what I feel when we're together. Kisara's skin flushed with those pearl starlight tones that made his heart race. These feelings between us, they're not just chemical reactions or physical attraction. My people believe that sometimes souls can resonate across the vastness of space, finding each other despite impossible odds. They reached for his hands, their touch sending cascades of sensation through his nervous system. When two beings achieve perfect harmony, they can create something entirely new, a shared consciousness that transcends their individual limitations. The humming from the crystals grew stronger as they positioned themselves in the center of the light patterns. Noah sat across from them, their knees touching, hands clasped. Focus on my energy, Kisara instructed, their mercury eyes intense. Let everything else fade away. Feel the rhythm of your own life force, then gradually align it with mine. Noah closed his eyes, concentrating on the tingling warmth where their skin touched. He became aware of his own heartbeat, then slowly perceived Kasara's different but complementary pulse. As their energies began to sync, the crystal formations around them responded, their natural resonance amplifying the connection. The transformation started subtly, a shimmer in the air between them, a deepening of the bond that already existed. Then suddenly, like a key turning in a lock, everything shifted. Noah gasped as his consciousness expanded, merging with Kasara's in ways that defied human understanding. He saw through their eyes, experiencing reality as a Lumini, the living song of the universe, the dance of atoms, the subtle energies that connected all things. Memories flowed between them, Noah's childhood wonder at his first desert sunset, Kasara's joy during their first aurora dance, shared moments of loss and triumph that shaped them both. Their joined energy spiraled outward, touching the ancient crystals in the cave walls. The minerals sang in response, creating a cascade of harmonics that built upon each other. Through their merged awareness, Noah understood what Kasara was doing, using the natural amplification properties of the cave system to boost their signal. But something unexpected happened as their consciousnesses twined together. The very atoms of Noah's body began to change, responding to Kasara's energy. Threads of crystalline light appeared beneath his skin, spreading in patterns that mirrored Kasara's own. Noah. Kasara's mental voice held concern. This wasn't supposed to happen. Your physical form is adapting to match our resonance. If we continue. Don't stop, Noah projected back, embracing the transformation. I can feel it, this is right. This is meant to be. Their combined energy reached a crescendo, bursting outward in a pulse of pure light that carried their message to the stars. But the change in Noah continued, his humanity blending with something new, something that bridged the gap between their species. When the light finally faded, they slowly separated, but not completely. A permanent bond remained, humming between them like a cosmic tuning fork. Noah opened his eyes, now shot through with mercury, and looked at his hands. His skin held a subtle luminescence, and crystalline patterns shimmered beneath the surface. You've become something unprecedented, Kasara breathed, touching his face in wonder. A human with Lumini attributes. The resonance between us was so strong it actually rewrote your genetic structure. Before Noah could respond, a familiar deep thrumming penetrated the cave. But this time, it felt different, there was a musical quality to it that spoke of friendship rather than threat. Through their new bond, they both recognized the truth, the resistance had received their signal and arrived in time. They're here, Kasara smiled, their skin glowing with joy. We did it. Their expression softened as they looked at Noah. But now we face another choice. My people will want to take me to the sanctuary world, to protect the knowledge I carry. Noah pulled them close, their energies harmonizing automatically. Then we'll go together. I'm not purely human anymore, and even if I was. He pressed his forehead to theirs, sharing his feelings through their bond, my heart has already chosen its home. The crystals around them sang with sympathetic resonance as they embraced, two beings from different worlds who had found something rare and precious, a love that could transcend the boundaries of species and space itself. Above, the resistance ships began their descent, but Noah and Kasara remained lost in their own private harmony, knowing that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them as one. The resistance ship hovered silently above the desert, its crystalline hull refracting the sunrise in prismatic waves. Noah stood at the cave entrance with Kasara, both of them watching as more ships emerged from stealth mode, a fleet of living vessels that pulsed with the same bioluminescent energy that now flowed through Noah's transformed body. Through their bond, he felt Kasara's mix of relief and anxiety. The arrival of their allies meant safety, but it also meant decisions had to be made. A small landing party descended from the main ship, their forms graceful and luminescent against the dawn sky. They're members of the High Council, Kasara explained, their skin shifting with nervous patterns. They'll want to know everything, about the sanctuary world, the defense systems, and... They squeezed Noah's hand, about us. The council members approached, their crystalline forms more elaborate than Kasara's, suggesting great age and wisdom. Their leader, a being whose light pulsed with deep sapphire tones, spoke in the musical language of the Lumini. Thanks to his transformation and bond with Kasara, Noah understood. Kasara of the Crystal Song, you've done well, the leader said. But this. They gestured to Noah, their light patterns expressing amazement, this is unprecedented. A human transformed by the resonance bond? The implications are extraordinary. Noah stepped forward, his newly luminescent skin responding to his emotions with swirls of determined gold. My name is Noah Barrett. I chose this transformation out of love for Kasara and a desire to help protect both our worlds from the harvesters. The council members exchanged glances, their lights creating complex patterns of communication. Through their bond, Kasara shared their private thoughts with Noah. The council was both intrigued and concerned. Such a cross-species transformation had never been documented in their long history. The sanctuary world, the leader finally said, it must be secured immediately. The defense systems there could save countless planets from the harvesters' exploitation. We must take Kasara there at once to activate them. We'll go together, Noah said firmly, feeling Kasara's surge of joy through their bond. I'm part of this now, and my knowledge of Earth could be valuable. The harvesters will target this planet eventually, we need to ensure it's protected too. A younger council member moved forward, their light expressing curiosity. Your transformation, it suggests possibilities we never considered. If humans and Lumini can achieve such harmony, perhaps there are other alliances waiting to be forged. Other ways to fight back against the harvesters. Kasara's skin brightened with hope. Noah's connection to Earth's ecosystems has only grown stronger since our bonding. Together, we might be able to adapt the ancient defense systems to work with this planet's natural energy grid. The council leader studied them both, their light patterns thoughtful. You propose something bold, not just hiding on the sanctuary world, but actively working to protect other planets. Creating a network of defended worlds. Yes, Noah and Kasara spoke in unison, their energies harmonizing automatically. Through their bond, they shared a vision, Earth and other worlds protected by adapted versions of the ancient defense systems, a growing alliance of planets and species united against the harvesters' exploitation. The council deliberated, their lights creating complex patterns that filled the desert air. Finally, the leader spoke again, your bond has already proven more powerful than we imagined possible. Perhaps it is time for the Lumini to emerge from hiding and take a more active role in protecting the galaxy's living worlds. They gestured to the ships above. We will take you both to the sanctuary world, not to hide, but to learn. To understand this transformation and how it might help us forge new paths forward. And then, if you choose, to return here and help establish Earth as the first of our allied worlds. Noah felt Kasara's excitement mirror his own. Through their bond, they shared memories of their first meeting, the growth of their connection, and dreams of their future together. Their joined energy created patterns of light that danced across the desert landscape, causing flowers to bloom spontaneously in the sand. There will be challenges, the young council member warned. The harvesters will not give up easily. And your unique bond may face resistance from both our peoples. Kasara turned to Noah, their mercury eyes shining with love and determination. Every great change faces resistance. But together. They placed a hand over Noah's heart, where crystalline patterns pulsed in sync with their own. Together we're stronger than they could ever imagine, Noah finished, pulling them close. Their energies merged effortlessly now, creating a luminescence so beautiful it brought expressions of awe to the council members' faces. As the sun rose fully over the desert, Noah and Kasara boarded the Resistance ship hand in hand. Through the crystalline viewport, they watched Earth grow smaller below them. But it wasn't goodbye, it was the beginning of something greater. Their love had not only transformed them but would help transform the galaxy itself. In the ship's living crystal chambers, their combined light created new patterns, telling the story of two beings from different worlds who found each other across the vast expanse of space. Their harmony would become a beacon of hope, proving that love could transcend not just cultural boundaries, but the very boundaries of species and stars themselves. The Resistance ship accelerated into hyperspace, carrying them toward their destiny. But for Noah and Kisara, wrapped in each other's light, they were already home.